Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Porn and Capitalism. You are looking at the next AMC stock millionaire. That's right. I'm a millionaire now because of some stock that nobody thought would ever be relevant again because nobody's going to the movies, and I bought it when everyone said buy it the first time, and now I'm a millionaire. That's right. Fucking millionaire, baby. Millions of dollars, baby. You're wondering, why am I still shooting this in a garage? That's a good question. Well, because my Airbnb lease isn't up yet, so still shooting it here until the mansion comes in, and then we're going to be moving this to the mansion, okay? Just waiting for some of those AMC funds to come in, and then we're moving it to the mansion, okay? It's going to be sick. That's right. Millionaire, baby. Fucking millions and millions of dollars. Actually, I made $20 on it. I'll be honest. I did make $20. I'm up $23 right now on AMC stock. Put in $20. Remember back when the first time when all this shit happened? I bought $20 at GameStop, which is down to $11 now. And then I bought $20 of AMC. So really, I'm up like $12 if you count the $9 I lost on AMC. Or on GameStop. I'm still up $11. I'm a fucking master of investing, okay? People don't even know this. People think this is just a stupid podcast to talk about porn stars and be an idiot. But really, I am building generational wealth right now. And people don't even know, right? Like I'm a fucking millionaire. I'm sweating in a garage in an Airbnb, but I'm a fucking millionaire in my heart. Okay. Pseudo-capitalism. That's what I really want to talk about. Pseudo-capitalism. People who think they're capitalists, but really only make $11 on AMC stock when you count in that they lost $9 on GameStop. That's what I'm talking about, baby. The short squeeze. Are you in on the squeeze? If you're not in on this, I'm sure you probably have a more diversified portfolio than me. I basically have Tesla stock, GameStop, and AMC. Those are basically the three stocks I have. I also have Bitcoin, which is tanking, right? Time to buy Bitcoin, right, guys? I don't know. Especially because the Biden administration just announced a $6 trillion spending plan. A lot of people, like Edward Snowden, God bless his soul. Can we give it up for Edward Snowden? American legend real quick. Edward Snowden tweeted that it's going to be good for Bitcoin, this $6 trillion spending plan. And then Bitcoin went down to $35,000, which sounds low relatively, right? But you got to remember, a year ago, it was at like maybe $10,000. So even in the past year, even with the dip that it's taken recently, it's still up more than 3 times. But people always look at it. I think with crypto, people look even shorter term. That's why so many young people are into crypto, because they're ADD. And when you're ADD, you don't want to deal with long-term investments. Fuck a dividend. Okay? Talk to a Gen Z person about a fucking dividend. They think that's a gender. They're like, is that a gender? What are the pronouns for dividend? A dividend gets paid out, I think, quarterly, as a percentage of some shit. I don't fucking know. Basically, you get a fixed amount of money based on the stock that you hold, regardless of the stock's performance. You just get, it's a bonus for holding onto the stock, but it's not sexy. Like the sexy stocks are, Tesla, and AMC, baby, the hottest stock on the market right now. I think we got to check what it's up to. What is AMC up to right now? I'm recording this on Friday afternoon. I think the market's just closed. So, they closed about an hour and a half ago, maybe 2 hours ago. Let's see where they closed out at. What did AMC stock close out at, baby? What are we looking at here? I put in $23 the first time that this was a big thing. And, okay. Did it close at 26? It closed at 26? Didn't even break 30. I think for the day, it was down. It was down 2% today. So, based on that, it looks like the squeeze might be over. Sorry. Is AMC dead? It might be dead now. It might be time to sell. Everyone was like, hold the line. We're taking it to $500,000, which is insane, by the way. The people who are tweeting AMC stock to $500,000 a share, you're out of your fucking mind. It would have been cool. I would have made shitload. I mean, obviously, I would have had like 800,000. It would have been amazing, right? But you got to be realistic, too. AMC stock is not going to go to $500,000 as much as I wanted it to. Okay? To all the AMC apes out there, right? To all you apes, you fucking damn dirty apes. It's not going to go to $500,000. It's just not. What was a legitimate price point it maybe could have gone to? 50, I think, was a legit, because I think even if you look at the historicals, the highest it's ever gone was, I think, about 50, something like that. What's the highest it ever went? What's the highest? Sorry, we got to go into the investing app. We got to check out what's I don't think it's ever gone over 100. So even the people who were like, it'll go to 1,000. I mean, I don't know. And I'm pro Reddit traders, by the way, very pro Reddit traders. Okay. But you got to at some point understand that there's only so much swing that like a bunch of Reddit traders have on the market. And despite what people want to think, they want to think that the market is all just manipulatable. If that's a fucking word. I think everyone wants to think that there aren't actually free market forces that act on this. I think a lot of people want to be so jaded that they think it's only the government and the Jews and all that shit, who are controlling all of this. But there are some free market forces. And say what you want, people haven't been going to the movies. They just haven't been. So, I mean, even with this shot up that it hit to like 60 or whatever, I mean, last price closed at 26. The highest it's ever gone in its history was about 26. So the fact that it was, I don't know, down a couple percentage points today. Yeah, it peaked out. It hit 26. That's the highest it's ever been, at least in the last, fucking 10 years or whatever. It would have been cool if it went to the moon. That would have been nice. We didn't even put real people on the moon. How are you going to put AMC stock on the fucking moon? Okay? Be realistic. A lot of these AMC apes are conspiracy theorists who don't think we put people on the moon. How are we going to put AMC stock on the moon? A lot of people don't think that it's real. I think stock price for a company like AMC is more real than Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's at 35,000 a pop, okay? Why is it more real? Well, because there are theaters. There are brick and mortar theaters. They own, AMC, the channel, right? Breaking Bad. It's a thing. There's a thing. Yeah, as much as I like Bitcoin, I understand it. I get it. I like it. You can't buy a whole lot with Bitcoin. I can't go buy groceries with Bitcoin right now. You can buy an NFL quarterback. You can buy Tom Brady with Bitcoin. But you can't use it in your everyday life the way you can cash. Just saying. Now, if AMC theaters start accepting Bitcoin, now we're going to have something. Now the apes might be onto something, okay? Start buying AMC stock. Start buying fucking Bitcoin because it's all going to the moon, baby. I don't know. It's fun to watch. It's fun to watch. It's fun to be part of something. I think that's the biggest lesson from the AMC thing, the GameStop, even Bitcoin, Dogecoin, all of this. People want to be part of a movement. Black Lives Matter, AMC apes. It doesn't matter what it is. People want to be part of a movement. We want to be part of a tribe. We want to be part of a group. We want to feel like we're not the only ones doing something. Because as cool as renegades are and mavericks are in movies and shit like that, we idolize those people. But in real life, people don't want to do it. People want to be part of the mob. People want to be part of the general consensus. They want to be part of the majority, all right? That's why everyone, shits on white people because they're the majority. And it's got to be nice to be the majority. Let me tell you, it's pretty nice. But people don't want to be a renegade. people don't want to be independent as much as they might claim to, as much as they might sing Beyonce. They don't really want to be independent because being independent is difficult. Okay? People want to be Joe Rogan, but they don't want to be Joe Rogan because he had to put in a lot of work to get to where he was at. A lot of people just want everything given to them. They want to jump on a bandwagon, AMC apes, right? And I'm still hoping it goes to the moon, but let's be honest. It peaked out at 26. Maybe it'll go to 30. Maybe it'll go to 30. But even when AMC stock was at 26, years ago, it was because people were going to the movie theaters, right? People were going to see fucking Marvel this and fuck that. Who gives a shit? They're going to see these movies. Now, especially over the last 5 years, people have been going to movies less because they've been getting worse. Let's be real, Hollywood. Your movies suck now. So people haven't been going to the theaters for the past 5 years. You throw the pandemic on top of that, to the floor, right? Nobody's going. Now, the only reason that the stock is going up is because of the short on it, right? So people shorted the stock. A lot of hedge funds shorted the stock because they looked at it and they said, I bet it's going to go down. They bet that it'll go down because of market forces, right? Hate it, love it, doesn't matter. The hedge fund people actually tried to be smart about it. They said, look, dude, nobody's going to theaters. Let's short this stock. We could make some money. That's what a hedge fund is designed to do. People hate hedge funds, but that's their fucking job. Right? Make educated guesses on what a stock is going to do. So they bet that AMC is going to go down. All these people on Reddit were like, fuck you. I love AMC. Best popcorn. Probably not. All these people were like, let's fuck the hedge funds, which again, I am pro fucking the hedge funds. I think it's a good thing to do. We need to do this more. We should do this every 4 or 5 months. We should just fuck the hedge funds over, make some money for normal people who will go spend it on dumb shit. That's the real stimulus, okay? The problem is, it's not based on anything. It's not based on any performance. It's really based on memes and nostalgia, which are fun, but they're not long-term indicators of how a stock is going to do, right? A stock has to be based on something and not just how people feel. Because if how people feel, right, we're going to shoot stocks up, wouldn't Amazon stock be through the floor? Everyone hates Amazon. Everybody wants to shit on Amazon. They don't let their employees take bathroom breaks. I'm pretty sure they do. I don't know. My girlfriend worked at Amazon. I'm pretty sure she went to the bathroom. Just a shot in the dark. I mean, I can ask her, but I think she went to the bathroom. Everybody hates Amazon. Everybody's like, Joe Biden needs to do $15 minimum wage. What does Amazon do? Hey, we're paying all our workers $15 an hour. And everyone's like, fuck you, Amazon, anyway. Right? You can't make people happy. I don't think you can make hardcore fucking people on the left or the right happy. It's never enough for them. That's why they're extremists, right? They want the extreme. Defund the police, by the way. They're fucking ruining my podcast. You hear that? Defund them. People on the hardcore left, people on the hardcore right, you cannot please extremists. It's just what it is, okay? You can blow up all the buildings. Jihadists are never going to be happy, right? They're just never going to be happy. It's just the way it is. But I think right now with Joe Biden, even with his $6 trillion spending plan, a lot of hardcore leftists are like, this is not what we wanted. They didn't want Joe Biden. They clearly didn't want Kamala Harris. They didn't vote for her, right? They wanted Bernie. They wanted a new socialist program. Instead, they got corporate Joe Biden banning menthol cigarettes and everything like that. And so Antifa is still anti-Biden. They don't like Biden. They didn't like Trump, but they really don't like Biden either. So basically what we're seeing from this is that corporate Democrats and corporate Republicans are basically the same thing. Okay. And the populist left and the populist right are never going to be satisfied by the corporate institutional power parties. It's never going to happen. And there are some people on the left and on the right who I think realized this. A lot of Trump supporters realized this when he got into office, right? Because they thought he was going to make these sweeping populist changes. And at the end of the day, he really was just a Republican president. Like it or not, he was really just a Republican president. He didn't do anything crazy out of the ordinary that most Republican presidents don't do. Slight tax cut to the middle class, big tax cuts for the corporations, right? Cut corporate tax down, which I'm a fan of. But he really did not do anything drastically different policy-wise than most Republican presidents, except he didn't start a war, which Let's give it up for Donald Trump for not starting a war. Pretty impressive. I'm wondering when Joe Biden's going to start one, though, because it's kind of what they do. Democrats, Republicans, doesn't matter. They love war. War makes them money. Who doesn't like making money? Communists, which they're not. They're really not communists. Thank God. But I really don't think a lot of people on the far right or far left are going to be satisfied by the people in those specific parties, even if it is a Donald Trump type character. I mean, even if you look at AOC, how much has she, and I'm not a fan, but how much has she had to give in to the wishes of the larger Democratic Party? Kind of has to do it all the time, right? So even people who, buy her merch, capitalism, baby, people who buy her merch and are like, eat the rich, XYZ, she's not even really going to be able to get those things done. And it's because of Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and all the other corporate Democrats. They're not going to act in the way that AOC would like them to. And over time, what's going to happen is she's going to make so much money being a politician. She's going to be like, maybe I stop talking all this socialist shit. Maybe I keep talking the socialist shit, but I govern in a more corporate democratic way. Probably what's going to happen. And what's interesting about all of this is over time, especially with the internet and the proliferation of information for people, they're realizing that this is the case. Both the left and the right are realizing that the Democrats and the Republicans are both full of shit, and they're not going to actually do anything that they campaigned on, like reparations. We'll look into that. We'll look into reparations. Yeah, let's look into reparations. They're going to look into it. Are they going to do it? I doubt it. I highly doubt Joe Biden will make reparations payments to American descendants of slavery. I doubt it. That being said, I think both the left and the right at some point are going to start to try and fracture the establishment parties. You've seen this with Trump. I think you see this a little bit. You don't see it as much with the Democrats because Bernie Sanders joined the Democrats, right? AOC joined the Democrats. I think the Democrats are better at getting the far groups to join their party. The Republicans do it pretty well. Let's be honest. Marjorie Taylor Greene, come on. MJT, whatever. I don't fucking know her name. Taylor Greene. No, MTG. There it is. MTG. Good old MTG. They join the Republicans too. They both must have just great. And that's how you know the money's involved. Because both of those parties, be it Democrat or Republican, who's better at it? Maybe the Democrats, maybe the Republicans. They're both good. So good at getting fringe people who have huge appeal, but really are on the fringes of the party, but have big followings. They're so good at luring them in and be like, just put that little letter next to your name. Just put that D or that R next to your name. Just put it there. Just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. They're fucking good at it. Say what you want. They're good recruiters. Democrats and Republicans, really good recruiters. They probably use their same recruiting agency. This is the lobbyists, right? That's where all the money comes from. All the money comes from lobbyists, baby. Oh, yeah, it does. At this point, I think it's time for this week's porn star of the podcast. We have a first on the podcast. We have our first Asian American porn star. Okay, it is Asian American Appreciation Month, right? I don't know. I think it's Appreciation Month. So this week's porn star of the podcast, let's give it up for Asa Akira. Let her hear it. The bio is brought to you by Pornhub because they have hilarious bios. This week, Asa Akira is a Japanese porn star. In fact, she is the Japanese American porn star. Her parents were originally from Japan, her mother from Osaka, and her father from Tokyo. However, Asa was born in New York City. Asa is her real name, and it means morning in Japanese, which makes sense because she gives us morning wood. Her last name comes from the anime Akira. This petite Japanese slut is only 5'2" with 32 C tits. Asa is known for her piercing eyes, killer body, and her willingness to go far into fetish and BDSM. As a former professional dominatrix, she knows how to take the reins, whips, and handcuffs. Asa Akira got started in adult clubs as an exotic dancer, but was quickly bored and grabbed the whip and became a dominatrix. From 2006 to 2007, she took a gig on the Love Sponge radio show and was nicknamed the Show Whore. It was on the show that she met Gina Lynn, who helped her get started in porno. With the help of porn star Gina Lynn, Asa made her move into XXX Films. Gina Lynn started her own production company and brought Asa Akira in as the new and hot fresh face to help her launch. Her rise to stardom was almost immediate. Asa received award nominations for her first few XXX roles. Since then, Asa has filmed hundreds of skin flicks. In 2013, Miss Akira got behind the camera in her directorial debut for Elegant Angel in Gang Banged 6. Asa Akira has worked with the biggest XXX production companies such as Digital Playground, Penthouse, Jules Jordan Video, Hustler, and Vivid. She has also made a lot of fetish porn and exclusive online videos for her more extreme fans. There are a lot of good reasons why Asa Akira is one of the top porn stars in the world. This petite Japanese slut will always be tops at Pornhub. So that is Asa Akira, born New York City, New York. She's a Capricorn, 32 seed, 24 waist, 32-inch hips and ass. Like I said, 5'2", 106 pounds. She is into guys and girls. She has 70 million profile views on Pornhub. Started porn in 2006 through the present, and she has 361 million video views on Pornhub. Now let's go over to Wikipedia because she does have one of those. Get a little bit more information. Born January 3rd, 1986. An American pornographic actress and adult film director. Akira has appeared in over 505 adult films as of 2016, so it might even be more than that. In 2013, she became the third Asian performer after Asia Carrera and Stephanie Swift to win the AVN Female Performer of the Year award. Akira hosted the first and second ceremonies of the Pornhub Awards as well. Okay, so there you go. Born in Manhattan, children of Japanese immigrant parents. She lived in Soho and moved to Tokyo at the age of 9 when her father, a portrait photographer, was relocated there for work. She came back to the United States at the age of 13 and moved to downtown Brooklyn and later Clinton Hill. In a 2014 interview, she described her childhood as being perfectly normal. Her family spoke Japanese at home and were health nuts who avoided junk food. As a teenager, Akira worked at the children's bookstore Books of Wonder as a cashier. Akira was able to secure a scholarship to attend United Nations International School in Manhattan because her grandfather had been a Japanese diplomat for 45 years. Wow. She was not invited to return in her sophomore year due to poor grades, so she enrolled in the Washington Irving High School in Gramercy Park. She transferred to City as school for her senior year. So 3 different high schools. Okay. Here we go. Like it said, started doing dominatrix work when she was 16. She started stripping at the Hustler Club in New York. She later started stripping at the Hustler Club in New York, 06 to 07. She was a regular on the Bubba and the Love Sponge radio show. That's what it is. And that's where she met Gina Lynn. Her first boy-girl scene was with Travis Knight for the Gina Lynn Productions. After having already done several girl-girl scenes, mainly with Lynn, that being Gina Lynn, she then signed a contract with Voyeur Media before becoming a freelancer for 6 months. Akira received several nominations for her role in David Aaron Clarke's 2009 film Pure, in which she plays a telephonist at a fetish dungeon who has an affair with the head mistress's husband. It said Akira co-hosted the 30th Annual AVN Awards alongside actress Jessie Jane and comedian April Macy. She won the AVN Female Performer of the Year award that night, as I mentioned. She was also the most awarded person during that ceremony. So there you go. 30th Annual AVN Awards. What year was that? That would have been 2013. So that had been for 2011, 2012 scenes that were filmed. On October 9th, 2013, Akira announced that she signed an exclusive performing contract with Wicked Pictures. Her debut film as a contract performer for the company was Asa is Wicked. Mainstream appearances. This is interesting. Akira made a cameo appearance in the mainstream film Starlet in January 2014. Akira, along with several others, were featured in a Cosmopolitan magazine article titled 4 Porn Stars on How They Stay Fit. The article was inspired by actress Gabrielle Union's comments made on Conan O'Brien's talk show about striving to follow the fitness routines of the porn stars she saw at the gym. In 2014, Akira featured as a guest of episode 1 of season 3 of the Eric Andre Show. 2017, Akira appeared as herself in the first episode of the 16th season of Family Guy in a live-action casting couch cutaway scene with Peter Griffin. Oh, we gotta look that up. Akira later noted that, ironically, this was her first casting couch scene, was with Peter Griffin. Oh, my God. The episode featured a recurring joke of people asking Peter who was the girl on the couch, and Peter giving a deadpan reply that he is certain the inquirer already knows who she is. In other media, in 2011, Complex ranked Akira 4th on their list of top 100 hottest porn stars right now, and at 6th on the list of top 50 hottest Asian porn stars. How is she? Wait, hold on. So she was number 4 of the overall hottest, and then number 6 of hottest Asian. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. Oh, well. LA Weekly ranked her 3rd on their list of 10 innovative porn stars who could be the next Sasha Grey in 2013. She was also placed on CNBC's yearly list of the Dirty Dozen, the site's annual ranking of the adult industry's most popular and successful stars of 2012, 13, and 14. In 2013, Akira and artist David Choey, I guess, started a podcast featuring 90-minute episodes called DVD ASA. So she has a podcast as well. Go check that out. DVD ASA. It aimed at a young adult audience, with its goal being to help youth with their problems related to sexuality, career, relationships, etc. In 2014, she appeared on a YouTube video blog with vlogger Casper Lee. Akira wrote a memoir titled Insatiable, Porn, a Love Story, which was released in May 2014 by Grove Press. In July 2015, she signed a contract with Kleist Press to publish her second book titled Dirty 30, a memoir, a collection of essays, which was released in the fall of 2016. In April 2015, Akira replaced Bella Knox as the host of The Sex Factor, an upcoming reality show where 8 men and 8 women compete for $1 million prize and a 3-year porn contract. Jesus. That sounds like a prison sentence. Depending on the porn. On April 6, 2015, The Hundreds started releasing episodes for a series titled Hobbies with Asa Akira, which features Akira trying out different activities such as tattooing, boxing, taxidermy, and ice sculpting. Here it has a personal life information as well for Akira. Akira states that she is sexually attracted to both men and girls that look like boys. She dislikes being called bisexual, claiming to lean towards heterosexuality, but to still be uncertain. She was once engaged to pornographic actor Rocco Reed. She was also married to pornographic actor and director Tony Ribas. And she stated, that aside from their on-screen work, their relationship was monogamous. She has a son through another relationship in March 2019. And it says Akira identifies as a feminist. So there you go. One more time, give it up for this week's porn star of the podcast, Asa Akira. You know, a lot of people, I think, fetishize Asian women. And that's why it's cool to see someone like Asa Akira, who has done more than just be an Asian porn star, right? She's gone out, she's been an entrepreneur, whether it be her podcast or appearances in mainstream media, or, I mean, the fact that she wrote 2 books. I mean, that's incredible. Writing 2 books, she's a mother, hosts a podcast, all of these different things. She's lived abroad as a child. I mean, it's a pretty impressive career when you break that down. AVN Female Performer of the Year, the third Asian performer to win that after Asia Carrera and Stephanie Swift, as we mentioned. But I mean, that's just a legendary career right there. Legendary career. And, I think when a lot of people are jerking off, they're not thinking about the fact that the person they're jerking off to may have written a book. Most people jerking off aren't readers. Let's just say that. That's why I like to give a little bit of information on the chicks you might be jerking off to. I don't know what you're into. This is episode 43, and this is the first Asian woman that we've had on the podcast. So, I guess I could apologize for that, or I could say, hey, I do what I do. I don't really give a fuck. Nobody recommends anything, so I just do what I want to do. Because that's what a podcast is really about. It's about doing what you want to do. It's about freedom, right? That's what this whole fucking country is about. That's what this state in Texas is about. Governor Greg Abbott just signed into law saying that you don't need a license to carry around a gun. That's fun. That makes open mics in Austin way more fun. Oh, you're going to cut me on the list? You're going to cut me on the fucking list. Okay. Oh, I see how it is. It's just hilarious because these fucking open micers in Austin, man, they are so cutthroat. And I'm one of them. I'm cutthroat on the list too. I'm like, put me on that fucking list early, bitch. I don't got time for this shit, okay? But I will be down. I know this is not going to come out until after the show, but I'm down in San Antonio tonight. San Antonio. And I'm going to be at Vulcan Gas Company, baby, doing the pre-show on Thursday, June 3rd. Make sure you come out to that as well. Going to be back in Michigan for just a couple days. Just a couple little days. Just a couple days. Just flying back for a couple days. Trying to get some shows lined up. We'll see how it works out. Next Afro Sundays, we got Trey Stewart headlining. So make sure you come out to that. Excuse me. The flyer will be out soon. I just made it, baby. Just made it. Had to lock down a headliner, It's a lot of work producing shows. That's why I don't like to do it. But, I'll do it once a month. Help out Genevieve. With all that being said, talking about Asian porn stars and everything, I think it's time to circle back to what I talked about a couple weeks ago, right? With the whole Tony Hinchcliffe, Pong Dang scenario, everything that happened there, right? 2 weeks later now. I think it's been about 2, maybe 3 weeks since all that shit went down. Isn't it interesting how things have turned, right? They tried to cancel him, couldn't cancel him, right? They tried to blow up Pong Dang, and I haven't seen anything from him recently. I think this would have been a great time for him to put out more content, put out more clips. Maybe he did and I just didn't see him. I don't know. But when you have a wave, you got to ride it, okay? No matter what that wave was, no matter how you got on that wave, if you're on a wave, you have to ride it, okay? Because if you're sitting at the top of a wave and you're not actively figuring out how you're going to ride this to the fucking beach, you're going to fall. You're going to fall off that surfboard, and then you're done. And it's game over, buddy. So it's just been interesting to see how all the shit goes down, because for the first 3-4 days, everyone was like, oh, this is the next Kramer. How dare he say words on a stage, right? And now 3 weeks later, everyone's like, I don't really give a fuck. I don't really give a fuck. The Legion of Skanks are in Austin. Nobody gives a fuck about PC here, baby. You can walk around with a gun without a license. I think you can say whatever you want. But I love this town. I love this fucking town. I've been here coming up on 2 months now. It'll be 2 months next week. Coming up on 10 months of no beer, no booze, really. Drinking the zeros, baby. And, it's just been awesome how things have spiraled upwards since I stopped drinking. Stopped drinking, started making career moves, started figuring out what I got to do, where I got to go, how I got to do things when I go there. And yeah, since then it's just been it's been going good. Like I said, I made my bed couple like a week ago. I cleaned up my whole room like a week ago. Shout out Jordan Peterson. Shout out Jordan. That's the other funny thing about open mics. When you get to open mics real early, you get to hear different open mic comedians talk philosophy. And you get to figure out who's a leftist and who's a Jordan Peterson fan, right? You figure that out real fucking fast just based on how they talk about shit, right? So it's been real interesting. But yeah, and by the way, Kill Tony is back, right? Coming up, Memorial Day. And I believe I will actually be on the episode that gets released this Monday. It was recorded like 3 weeks ago. That's where I got the opportunities that I've been getting, the Vulcan opportunity. And so that's coming out on Monday. And Kill Tony actual shows are back at Vulcan on Monday. And I'm going to be there, baby. I'm going to be working there, baby. It's going to be a good time. So yeah, like I said, things have been going good. And that's a positive. Things have been going good for me. Things have been going good for my girlfriend. We had our 3-year anniversary. That was fun. We're both going down to San Antonio. We're both going back to Michigan. It's just been good. And, lately, this is, later in the podcast, I like to try and get a little bit positive about stuff. We don't got to talk about the AMC squeeze. We don't got to talk about Joe Biden. We can just be happy. We can just relax. And enjoy the fact that I'm sweating my balls off in a garage and it's 8 million degrees outside. And why do people live here? Why do people live here? Everyone should live in Hawaii. It's the only place that makes sense to live, even though it makes no sense to live there. Temperature-wise, Hawaii is the move, man. Because Michigan, too cold in the winter. Texas, too hot in the summer. It's fucking hot. All right, and no amount of Heineken Zero is going to cool me down. Oh, it tastes so good. It tastes so good when you're drinking that beer. Boop-a-doo-doo-doo. I was talking to my friends Jeff and Esther. They're LA comedians from Michigan. They were in town about a week ago, and we were talking about country music. And how I have started listening to it just because it's on the radio. I have an 04 Honda Odyssey. I can't hook up an aux cord. I have a Bluetooth speaker, but that dies sometimes. So sometimes, you're like, do I listen to a CD or do I channel hop? Let's channel hop. Speaking of nostalgia and AMC stock, let's channel hop. Let's scroll through AM and FM and find a good song. And sometimes, you're like, I can't. There's only like 3 different channels. There's multiples of them, but only 3 types of channels down here. There's country music, there's religion, and then there's Texas Longhorns football. Okay, those are the 3 channels down here. If you're in Dallas, replace Texas Longhorns with Dallas Cowboys. And that's basically what you have. And sometimes you're like, I don't want to listen to a dude tell me why I can't jerk off because God's watching. And I also don't want to hear about Texas Longhorns football sometimes. I just don't. I'm sorry. I don't hate them. They're not that good right now. Let's be honest. So I listen to country music and I'm like, this is starting to grow on me. I remember when I used to live in Wyoming, I would listen to country music as well because that's literally all there is up there. Ain't no hip hop in Wyoming, baby. Okay, every now and then you'll get a hip-hop channel down here, but man, it's a lot of country music, and every now and then you're just like, man, you know what? It is hot. You know what? There is a lot of dirt and dust and tumbleweed, and let's listen to a song about it. The best is when you get to be at a bar here in Austin, and you get to watch some live music, and you're like, that's fucking good music, man. There are some good-ass musicians in Austin, Texas. It's the home of live music, but there are some incredibly talented musicians in this town. And you know what? 95% of them aren't going to make it, which is still better odds than if you're a comedian. If you're a comedian, 99% of you won't make it. But in music, I think it's probably 95%. So you see a lot of and about 35 to 40% of the musicians you see here are amazing. So of the amazing musicians, not even half of them make it. And, there's probably a million reasons why. They get fucking AIDS, or, they have a kid and they got to raise the kid or something like that, or, they overdose, whatever reason they don't make it, And it sucks because it's like, man, that guy was good at that bar that I saw him at. He was killing it. And I think it's similar with comedy. I did just watch the Joe Rogan episode where he had the mayor of Austin. And let me say how fun it is to listen to someone breathe on the Joe Rogan podcast. Every time Joe Rogan was talking, all I heard in the background was, it was just the dude breathing. And someone said it on Twitter. They said it was like him talking. It was like Joe Rogan was talking to a ham. It was so accurate. He was literally just talking to a big fat guy who was like, I've been the mayor of Austin. He doesn't sound like that. I can't do a good mayor of Austin impression, but I don't know, man. I listened to it. It was a short one. It's a person he really didn't want to interview when it's short. But he was like, look, you're the mayor of Austin. I'll fucking talk to you, okay? He's been in office 7 years, so they're about to get a new mayor here soon, right? Let's see who it is. Is it going to be Matthew McConaughey? Matthew, how are you doing? Matthew, all right. Let's get rid of these homeless people. The crazy thing was when he said there are 300 homeless people documented in the city of Austin, and each one of those 300 homeless people cost the city of Austin $220,000 annually. Fucking annually. 300 people. $220,000. Are you fucking shitting? How much money is that? How much fucking money on an annual basis? Say $220,000 times 300 motherfuckers. That's $66 million. $66 million gets spent annually on the same 300 homeless people. What the fuck? That's nuts. That's insane. And they still look that shitty. We're spending $220,000 on these motherfuckers, and they still look homeless? Why don't you just buy them a house at that point? You could buy them each a house for $100,000, like a shitty house. Throw them in that bitch, save the money, get them off the. What the fuck are we doing? It's fucking $66 million. Holy shit. But hey, that's Austin, baby. Have a good weekend, y'all.